Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 26.
Listen, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving break. We've been on a break a little bit for Thanksgiving. Clips will be coming out, and we will be dropping clips starting from the beginning of this season. We will be dropping clips, shorts, all the above. Subscribe, like, comment, share the content. Now, Blair, I have a question. Can I ask my question?
Yes.
I said, can I ask my question?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to ask my question. Are we going to miss Tiffany? Are we going to miss Tiffany? Let me add Lou into it, too. Are we going to miss Tiffany and Lou? And based on the conversation and based on the show, you'll know what I'm talking about. Put in the comments below what y'all think. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through it.
Tiffany arrives with the baby to talk to KeKe and Stormi at Stormi's house. They start by touching on the interview with Carlos and start to unpack what Tiffany has said.
Yeah.
And KeKe is asking, why do you feel like I'm coming for you? KeKe disagrees with that and wants to know what is the reason. Tiffany says that when she walked in the room, I believe it was when they were having a spa day, and the conversation came directly to her, and it made it feel like KeKe was coming for her.
Yeah.
And that was about you bashing me, saying I wasn't a good cousin, is what KeKe was explaining.
Yeah.
She had just received that information from Tisha, so when she saw Tiffany, she addressed it. Tiffany didn't feel like she should go above and beyond for someone who treats their cousin wrong. And KeKe says, look, you have no idea about our dynamic, things that Tisha's done to me, so you can't judge me based off of this one relationship. KeKe says, you say things to make me look bad, and Tiffany says, it's a thing because everyone made it a thing. Basically, I don't really have a problem with you.
Yeah. People
are adding fuel to the fire. Tiffany ends up apologizing. Only thing I want to say is that it's not a thing because people said it's a thing. You've said plenty, Tiffany. You said plenty to offend. So the apology that you gave was warranted.
If you're tired of KeKe, raise your hand. Put your hand up. We are one.
Okay.
KeKe, you are in everybody's face. You're in everybody's business, talking about how much of you have a problem with these people and people got a problem with you. What is your storyline, KeKe? I'm gonna ask it one more time. What is your storyline? Your storyline is basically, if I was to recap this season, okay, you get accused at Costco. So we don't know the story. You won't tell us the story because obviously you can't talk about it, you say. So you move on. Then you have a problem with Tisha because you find out things about her marriage, which is none of your business.
True.
Right? So you go to her basically in-laws' house, start a fight, throw a drink in her face, and then say, I'm done with Tisha. Then we move on, and now you have a problem with Tiffany because of a Carlos King interview. Mind you, throughout this time, y'all been to the spa together. I think y'all had a little tea party together, whatever it is that Melody threw or something like that. Was it this season?
Yeah, they were arguing about that at that place too.
So basically, you have a problem with everybody on the show. If that's the case, get off the show. I'm tired of it. Because here's the thing about it. We got a new star, and their name is the Fletchers. Okay? And we don't need this. I'm telling you this right now. As much as you tired of talking about KeKe, as much as you tired of talking about Tisha, we are tired of hearing about both of y'all. Okay? I don't know this little fake beef y'all got, this little cousin rivalry, this little Cain and Abel rivalry they got going on. You see, I'm on 100 today. I feel good.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I don't know about this Cain and Abel rivalry they have, but I'm tired of it. You get what I'm saying? Tell me how you feel, Blair. I got more, but I'm going to be nice. I ain't going to be greedy and just take up all the airtime. Go ahead, Blair.
Well, with KeKe, I'm not necessarily tired of KeKe. I feel like
you lied to me when you.
Well, you said just put my hand up, so I put my hand up.
I did.
So no, I'm not necessarily tired of KeKe. I do feel like it's time we wrap up this situation. I understand KeKe and Tisha are cousins. They're going to have ongoing issues because they're just so close to proximity, and I get that. But I do feel like KeKe needs to learn how to let some things go.
Yeah,
and not everything requires her to be so amped up and so upset. Like with Tisha ignoring her, that could have been a situation where she said, "Okay, girl, whatever." If you don't want the information, who am I to shove it down your throat? I do feel like with Tiffany do be talking a whole lot of mess.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, let's address it so we can move past it because It was also said she talked about how they moved to a different district. To say like it was something like wrong about them doing that to get their son into a different school. So
it was something dishonest.
Yeah,
basically the ethics of it. Yeah,
right. So I was just like, talk to Tiffany and shut her the hell up.
Well,
like she'd be talking too much and it's irritating.
Well, here's the thing about it, right? If you watch the show, we already know Tiffany is the one that's basically throwing shade. She's basically the one that throw the rocks and hide her hand type of.
And sometimes it's unnecessary. Like we get with the show, there has to be shade throwing, but Tiffany sometimes it's out of left field.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
The reason why I feel like it's not out of left field because that Carlos King interview, quote unquote, it was Carlos King, her boss, right? And they was talking about KeKe, about her situation. Now, when it comes to this, how I feel about what Tiffany is not saying. Don't let me put words in her mouth, but I feel like she feels that KeKe is beneath the brand of what love and marriage Huntsville is supposed to be. It's supposed to be these type of entrepreneur type of guys, these people that's supposed to basically be their own boss, they have their own status, their own network and things like that. Yeah. Professionals. And they feel like KeKe's kind don't belong on the show. Whatever y'all can read between the lines that mean. That can mean ghetto. That can mean criminal. That can mean all those type of things. So that's why everything kind of leans towards that when it comes to, she's taking her kid and putting her and moving because they trying to be in a different zone and things like that. It basically gives off the thing of like she's not a good, honest person with ethics. Right. Because a person with good ethics wouldn't steal from Costco. Right. A person with good ethics wouldn't lie to get their kid again. You know what I mean? She's painting she's painting KeKe as someone that says, hey, look, I really don't have a problem with you, but I just have a problem with you on the show. Yeah. They basically feel like Stormi and KeKe shouldn't be in the same room. Stormi has her $1 million business. KeKe, what do you have? Hey, Marsau and Tisha. Marsau, his own entrepreneur, and Tisha basically is owners with him at Black. KeKe, what do you have? Melody is a name in her own right and things like that. What do you have, KeKe? Basically, she's basically saying you don't belong here.
You're the odd man out.
You can't sit with us. And then on top of that, if I already felt that way, which I do believe Tiffany did, then you get arrested. So basically, Tiffany feels validated to say all these things out loud in a Carlos King interview because she's like, look. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's why when the first episode, she was like, what this do for us? You get what I'm saying? Uh-huh. But to your point, Tiffany, just mind your business. I'm basically just telling you what Tiffany didn't say on the show. You get what I'm saying? Uh-huh. But Tiffany, just mind your business. Yeah. Just mind your business. Can we move on? Yeah. Walk us through it, Blair.
Well, Chris Fletcher visits Martell at Martell's new rental home.
Okay, you ain't got to put rental in front of it.
He is very happy Martell finally moved out. Yes. He's like, I can, finally list the property properly. Yeah. So he is very happy he's out the way. Mm-hmm. Chris talks to Martell about how dinner went and how his daughter E26 basically blew up and left. And Martell makes a few comments like, okay, yeah, like there's a way to get your point across without being disrespectful, when it comes to children and stuff like that, even adult children. Chris brings up the conversation that Martell had with Nell when he dropped off the wine. Yeah. And Martell says Nell could be disrespectful at times. Okay. Chris, he said this a few times. Was she truthful? Or was she disrespectful?
Answer that.
Was she saying something that you didn't want to hear? Or was she actually being rude? Yeah. And Martell said she's just saying things she shouldn't be saying. Okay. Talking about Mel and being on Mel's side. Martell says at this point, why even bring that up? Martell says, if need be, he'll check her. And Chris is like, check how? What do you mean check my wife? And basically Chris says, if you have an issue with her, come talk to me. Okay. Don't feel like you need to check my wife. He's made it clear that the Fletchers have not picked a side. They're still in the middle. And Martell kept saying, well, Melody Holt. And he said, we're in between the Rogers and the Holt. Okay? Because Mel got her name changed. And then Martell was like, I bet y'all was up there just all happy and having a good old time at the name change. And Chris said, it was nice. Okay? And it was nice. Chris says, her name is not new because he was like, because she got a new name. The name is not new. With the name change, Martell says that it feels final, and he says that Mel wants clout off of continuing trying to destroy him.
Listen here, man.
That is an interesting take, Martell.
Listen here, right? Let me paint the scene, right? These are two friends talking. Okay, so I want y'all to understand this. These two are friends talking. Yeah. Martell should not be going to anyone's house and say your wife was disrespectful to me while you're at their house.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Martell has a way of kicking himself in his own behind. Mm-hmm. Right? What does checking women have to do with my wife on her property? This is her house.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You just feel like women shouldn't be disrespecting men, and you feel like no matter who it is, no matter when or whatever, if a woman is disrespectful, you gonna check them and put them in their place. Well, what place you gonna put them in? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
At her house, on her grounds, the only thing you can do to someone who's being disrespectful to you at their house on their grounds is get in your car and leave.
Right.
There's no checking.
Get out of Dodge.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There's no checking that's going to be done while I'm at my house.
Yeah.
Talking about your ex-wife. You get what I'm saying? Martell has this thing to where he feels like everything that Melody achieved, and if it's true, it is what it is, but it doesn't matter, that she achieved everything after the fact that they was married. You get what I'm saying? Guess what? Melody made her millions or million being a halt. She created her business being an entrepreneur as a halt. You get what I'm saying? Life didn't progress for her really until she was a halt. And guess what? That doesn't matter now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter now, because here's the thing about it. You have disgraced the relationship so much, right, that people are willing to show up for a wedding to herself, right, and actually be like, this is beautiful, it was a good time, and then on top of that, not to bring outside noise into the review channel, but we kind of know what's been going on the outside based on what the blog's been saying about the not ex-wife, but the mistress. Right. You get what I'm saying? And the things that have been going on, and the tapes and the custody battles and things like that. You have made it very easy for her to be like, I'm going to change my name.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And guess what? I can't really blame her for that, because guess what? You caused all of this. You put yourself in this position to be disrespected in the way that you felt like you were disrespected.
Yeah.
If you didn't want Nell to talk to you like this, guess what? Stay with Melody. Stay faithful to Melody. Melody wouldn't even have a problem or a party.
Right.
And she would be a halt. She would have still been a halt, and you probably still would have been in that house.
Right. I just felt like it was quintessential Martell. He just doesn't like being told about himself. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like his mistakes being brought back up to him, mm-hmm. and always wanting to point the finger at somebody else. And the whole purpose is, look, Martell, Nell was just trying to let you know about the name change and that she was going.
Yeah.
If they're supposedly your friends, wouldn't you want to know? You know?
Well, no. But my whole thing is, even if you told me, he shouldn't have no problem with it.
Yeah, because he should understand, like, okay, this is the results of my actions. But he cannot take accountability. He can't even tie himself to the present of what's going on, because he can't fathom that what he did has caused such a ripple effect, mm-hmm. that this lady is marrying herself.
That's crazy.
Like, he just cannot fathom that this is what's happening.
You made somebody marry themselves, Martell.
Yes.
Literally.
Marry their old name.
Yes. Yes.
Because your actions are so awful. And the thing is, like, he really feels like people are trying to tear him down. People are living their lives.
Yeah, nobody.
They are moving on with their lives. They're living their lives, and the Fletchers are just trying to support their friend, mm-hmm. in whatever way they can, because you put her through hell.
Yeah. But
nobody is trying to destroy you.
No one has a personal attack on you, to you, about you, whatever you want to call it, right? The problem is, Martell, is that you have this woe is me type of thing. Guess what? You don't have to ever worry about women tearing a man down if the man is doing whatever they're supposed to be doing. That's all. Uh-huh. If you don't want women talking or disrespecting man, be a respectable man.
Yep.
That's all.
He over here talking about disrespect and is a way to say things. Well, the most disrespectful thing is just to have your ding-a-ling out there in the street.
That's what I heard.
I mean, goodness.
And my thing is, guess what? I don't deal with disrespectful women. I carry myself respectable. Thank you very much.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yes.
Let's continue on.
Okay. Well, we move on, and Kimmi and Tisha meet up for a spa day.
Okay.
They are going to do yachty steaming. And Tisha lets us know that she's been gaining weight. She hasn't really been feeling good. She is taking a pregnancy test because this isn't safe for pregnant women.
Yeah.
And it comes back negative.
Okay.
Now, Tisha and Kimmi are talking, and Tisha said, look, you know, because Kimmy's like, we should have all the ladies here. This would have been a really nice group activity. And Tisha's like, I don't know about that. And I felt the same way Tisha felt, because I'm just like, it's always something with these ladies. And finally, her and her sister-in-law could just have, like, just a good girls' time just hanging out.
Stop right there. Kimmi, why you always want to hang out with the group? You've been with this group the longest. Nothing good ever comes out really when everybody's together.
Right.
And going back to your point, Blair, what's wrong with hanging out with your sister-in-law by yourself?
Uh-huh.
Do you like your sister-in-law?
Well, that was that was talked about at one point.
No, cause like I'm like, yo, like if there's any bond that should be tight, it's the sisters.
Yeah.
You know, the sister and sister-in-law. Now, granted, I have my love-hate relationship with Tisha, and I'm gonna let Blair continue. But just the idea that, like, hey, we should have brought everybody here. No, hang with your sis.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm trying to bond with you right now.
Yeah, you hear her talking. She got a pregnancy test. She talking about she gaining weight and things like that. And truth be told, you're not gonna get any information that Tisha's going through in a group setting.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? This is the only way that you can get Tisha to open up, because she feels like she's talking to family.
Right.
And she feels like family's the one that's supposed to or is going to have my back if something was to hit the fan. Not Melody. Nope. Not Kimmi.
Not even KeKe.
I mean,
that's her cousin.
Not Kimmi. KeKe.
Yeah.
Not Tiffany. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Her sister-in-law. Continue, babe. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, Tisha is tired of having conversations about KeKe, and whenever the group gets around, people want to ask questions and keep digging for more details.
Yeah.
Tisha says she's not going to keep trying to defend herself. Since the Black Expo, Kimmi tells us that Mel felt Tisha's energy was different towards her. And Tisha says it's nothing personal towards Mel. She says that she's just been dealing with a lot, and she's wondering if she should go back to being a stay-at-home mom. And she feels maybe it's just things I'm not supposed to be doing right now. I'm overwhelmed. And maybe it's God telling me, like, I need to take a step back. And Kimmi says with young kids, it is hard to do a lot of stuff at once.
Yeah.
And Tisha's like, look, it's not even just work. Like, nothing is organized in my life. Like, we had the casino night at Black got shut down because people were sending stuff into the city. They're living in an apartment, you know, getting the rental renovated and getting their house built. She even tells us she went to a life coach because she wants to be the best version of herself. Yeah. And Marsau even said, let's try marriage counseling. And she said it. When he said that, I knew something was up. She said she'd been yelling at the kids more recently, and she just needs to get back centered.
What do you think is wrong with Tisha?
I think Tisha is sensitive. And I think that's the problem.
Sensitive, okay.
I think that everyone's critiques about her businesses like affects her deeply and personally, to the point where she feels like people have a problem with her because of it. When really, like, even the thing about the Black Expo, when people were sharing their opinions, nobody was really coming for Tisha. If anything, Stormi was coming for Marsau. But everyone was pretty much just giving their opinion of what could have gone better. But you could tell she didn't want to hear any of it because she felt like y'all are attacking my business. Which just sucks that she felt that way, because it really wasn't that. Yeah. Now, with the casino night, y'all, that was illegal. Okay. You can't just gamble whenever you want to gamble. It was illegal. Now you know, so you could do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she has a hard time pivoting, and she takes everything to heart. And I think she just needs to, you know, maybe she does need to take a step back and just get some peace about her. But when she goes out and to start these businesses things again, she can't treat these businesses like an extension of her to where it feels like it's an attack on her. That's my take.
I like that take. Let me steal some parts of it a little bit.
Okay.
Right? The Black Expo, I disagree with you about.
Okay.
And the only reason why I disagree, I feel like that wasn't her fault. That was Kimmie's fault.
Okay.
Kimmie, don't suggest no town hall. This whole let's meet up as a group, right? You know there's people in that group that wasn't, quote unquote, eager to help for free.
Right.
So why would you have an idea to gather the people that wouldn't help for free to give free criticism? That is stupid, in my opinion. I know, like, you're not supposed to call ideas stupid, but that was just downright stupid and not right and not fair to your sister-in-law. That's why I be asking questions like, does she like Tisha?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you want to give critiques, then why don't you have dinner at your house and then your husband, which is her brother-in-law, and things like that, and y'all have things like, you know, this could have been better. But to have people there that wasn't even eager to help in the first place, and you got this person over here cussing at her husband, talking about $100, even though Marsau did come wrong, but you like, people's not coming in with the spirit to basically uplift the event.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I can see why she could feel like, you know what, y'all like coming at me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, to go back, even though I jumped off the ship on that part, let me jump back on your ship, right? This is business, Tisha. And you wanted to be a businesswoman. This is not season 1, season 2, to where you can be motivated by Mel, compete with Mel, because Mel is doing her own thing, so you want to do your own thing, and things like that. And now Mel is not in the circle, and now you're like, I want to be a housewife again. No. If I was Marsau, I'd be like, no. You're working. Because this is actually what work is.
Yeah.
Work is hitting your head against the wall multiple times, telling people to subscribe, telling people to comment, telling people to share, like all
dealing with people's opinions and difficult attitudes.
And my whole thing is, at the end of the day, right, you can't be so emotionally charged or emotionally invested in this external work you're doing. Be passionate and emotional about the work itself,
right?
But not about the reactions and things like that. Now, to go to her point, let me jump on Tisha's boat to support her on this. Why this house not built?
Yeah,
like come on now.
When your living situation is unsteady, you feel that.
Yes, exactly.
Especially with the kids living in an apartment, like that's a lot.
So it's the idea of, I think, I really don't know what's the answer to this.
Yeah.
Because I know she's watching. I know the Scotts are watching. They're big fans, right? But my thing is, I don't know what's the answer to this. Because I can't tell Marsau to snap his fingers and build his house.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You have to find peace within yourself. You have to find some stability within yourself while everything around you is chaos. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can understand why moving, like you're moving here. It looked like y'all getting chased. You get what I'm saying? But you have to find that peace. But truth be told, to be respectful to housewives, women who stay at home, men who stay at home and take care of the house and kids and things like that. But mainly housewives, because that's usually that's usually the stigma.
Yeah. That's
a job in itself.
It is.
that has some unpredictability in itself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my whole thing is you have to flow with the current, not so much like swim against it. Sometimes the current is going to take you some places the way they're criticizing your ideas with the Black Expo and things of that nature. And guess what? You have to, I believe, stand your ground, right? Marsau is confident in who he is, right? He's like, I don't care about criticism. People can say whatever they got to say and do whatever they have to do, and I'll just sit there and take it. It doesn't matter to me because I'm going to do what I'm going to do anyway. If you're the type of person that is not that type of person, they'd be like, I will not be part of this meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the cliff notes at the end.
Yeah. like
tell me what we're going to do, but I can't take all this.
I'm going to be in partner with my husband.
Yeah.
But with this whole group thing, I'm not in that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm going to let my husband take care of the meetings and things like that. If he want to meet with y'all, he can meet with y'all. But I'm going to deal with the behind the scenes of getting the venue, working with the people who's there, the kiosk desks or like basically the booth people, whatever they call.
Right.
I'm going to actually work on the business. I'm not going to work on the opinion side.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You have to know yourself and know what you can handle and know where to eject from.
Right.
Get your parachute. I'm out of this. You get what I'm saying? Anything else?
That's it.
Let's move on.
Yep. Chris meets with his son, Chris.
Okay.
Just for this conversation, I'm going to call the son CJ, Chris Jr.
Okay, Junior.
Yep. Well, they are talking about dinner, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
CJ says a lot got brought up.
I did.
And he still wants his dogs.
What?
Chris says, because of what happened, you getting arrested, that's why we had to get the dogs, and you're not going to get them until you pay your mom back.
Okay.
And she's going to, keep them until you give that money back.
Stop right there for a second.
Yeah.
I want to commend, and I'm going to let you go. I want to commend Chris Fletcher, Sr., right, for standing behind his wife on that.
Yeah.
Because to him, I can tell just by that statement when he was talking to his son, he don't give a damn.
Yeah.
About if he gets the dog or not. He's not as passionate as keeping the dogs. He's like, this is your wife's decision. I'm going to stand by it. You can even tell. This is what I like about it. Because now, because we're grown and everybody's watching is grown. There's something to, hey, listen, I wouldn't do what you did as a parent, but I'm not going to be your enemy.
Right.
I wouldn't have took the boy dogs. You get what I'm saying? Or I would have gave the dogs back. Because you could definitely tell Chris is more of the laid back, you know what I mean, keep things leveled, you know,
peaceful.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, now it's like, you owe me money for getting arrested.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I could tell that Chris, quote unquote, don't really care if we keep the dogs or anything like that. But the fact that he's supporting Nell in her decision, not even talking bad behind it, just basically reinforcing it, talking about you got arrested, you got to pay her money. Right. Because that's what he said. He didn't say our money. He said her money. Yep. You get what I'm saying? Continue, Blair.
Yep. Chris says with the son, like, there's a level of maturity that you need to get to.
Yeah.
And he asked him, when's the last time you talked to your mom? And CJ says he hasn't talked to his mom since the dinner. But he also says he hasn't talked to anyone. And he feels like if he just stays to himself, he doesn't have to worry about people's opinions. And being around the family, it's a lot of opinions. And he is really trying to just get himself together. Chris asks, do you not see that, we're seeing something in you to where you possibly need help and we're trying to help you. And we're, as a family, we're supposed to come together to help each other out.
Yeah.
And Chris asks, well, where do you go? Like, if you don't talk to anybody, you don't be around nobody, like, where do you go when you're dealing with these issues? Yeah. And Chris says he doesn't sleep. He says he goes to the yo. I figured that meant like studio. So Chris Sr. says, it sounds like a form of depression and that scares me. He says, I'll stop everything. And he gets teary-eyed too. He says, I'll stop everything to help you. If you need help, ask me. Like, I'll never be too busy to help my kids. Chris Sr. himself tells us that he's dealt with depression before and just being a black man and just feeling like, you have to handle the world on your own and it can be very isolating. And he says, look, whether it's 2 to 3 in the morning, call me. I want you to call me instead of being out in the streets. And that's where that conversation ends.
What did you think about that scene, Blair? I'll let you go.
Yeah, I felt like it was a good conversation. I appreciated how Chris, like you said, was supporting his wife at the same time wanting to support his child and telling him, like, I'm your guy. I'm here for you. You don't have to be out trying to form bonds with, street people or just be out 2, 3 in the morning. Like, you have a dad. Yeah. You have somebody you could talk to. Yeah. And really try to drill it into him like, I will do anything for you.
You're preaching.
Yeah. So I think that was important for CJ to hear, and I hope that it soaked in and that he really understands that he has support. Because there are a lot of people in this world who don't have support and they don't have anybody to turn to. Yeah. But Chris is like, that's not you. That's not your situation. And don't allow it to be. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. So, yeah, that was huge to me.
Let me talk on both sides of the coin here.
Okay.
Because there is something called parenting, and it is something, a new term that came out that's called gentle parenting.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? What you saw is basically a version of gentle parenting. The parenting that doesn't deal with a lot of fussing, a lot of finger pointing and things like that. But I didn't come up in that generation.
Okay.
I didn't come up in that type of parenting. That doesn't mean that my parents was abusive. My parents were nowhere near abusive. Don't be calling my parents abusive and things like that. They just wasn't gentle parenting. What do I mean by that? I mean, my mother would have been like, God rest her soul. My mother would have been like, you did all this to yourself.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Some can look at this scene and be like, look at you and look at Chris Sr. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to typecast nobody. I ain't trying to do no stereotypical thing. I ain't trying to do no bias, no racism, whatever you want to call it. I'm black, he black, we black. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some can look at the father and some can look at the son and be like, what's all this?
Yeah, the tattoos.
Like what?
Slouched into the chair.
What are you trying to be? Like you're in my business.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? This is the example you seen.
This is your inheritance. Right?
People can look at that. This is why people don't believe in gentle parenting. Because people can be like, look at the head start that I basically was trying to give you. Who is your examples that you're looking up to?
Yeah.
Because I don't have tattoos. You get what I'm saying? I don't now. I don't know how Chris Senior was back in the day, but obviously, you get what I'm saying. Tattoos back in the day is different than what it is today. But I'm just saying, you could tell hip hop is a big influence in our culture.
Right.
Who are you looking up to? You get what I'm saying? To the point where you got arrested. That's what Nell's saying. Nell don't come from the gentle parenting type of thing. She is the type of thing to where when you itch on the floor, she gonna take your nose and be like, you gonna learn from this. And truth be told, for some dogs that work.
Yeah.
But for some people, it don't. You get what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give both sides of the coin.
Okay.
Here's the thing about it. I grew up in a generation to where depression, I didn't even know that was for people like us. You get what I'm saying? I thought depression was like an urban legend. Until you become depressed and you just think you're very sad, but you don't really know the depths of your sadness. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then in the midst of you being sad, your parents just basically calling you lazy, telling you get up, and you just like And many times than not, I probably was depressed a lot of times in my early years as an early teenager and things like that. But I was parented out of my depression. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think Chris is at his wit's end. Because talk about the father, because he's crying now, right? He sees something that he's like, look, man, your mother yelling at you ain't getting to you, right? Me talking to you ain't really getting to you, right? Do I have to stop everything to show you how serious I am about you? And then sometimes as a kid, for some people, because Chris Jr. is not a kid, he's a man by societal values and standards and things like that. Some people just don't get it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I hope Chris Jr. gets it. I hope there is some accountability to it. At the same time, I hope his family gives him the grace to grow. The grace to change, the grace to redeem himself.
And not remind him of where he used to be.
Come on now.
Right.
Not remind him of things like that. Now, here's the thing about it. I wouldn't bring up the dogs no more, Junior. Don't bring up the dogs.
The stipulations to get it back.
Don't.
We just gonna be talking in circles.
But what usually happens is people who usually find themselves in this situation, they never had to dig themselves out of the ditch that they made for themselves.
Yeah.
They're usually used to somebody throwing them a lifeline in that hole. But I think now it's to the point where his parents is not throwing him a lifeline, and he views it as, why y'all against me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Where it's like, no, man, you keep digging these holes, and we keep getting you out of it. And now the one time where you actually got to get dirty and pull yourself up out that hole, it feels like everybody against you. Everybody keep bringing up your old sins and things of that nature. Everybody keep talking about you, finger pointing at you. Where people are like, no, this is what happened when you get yourself out the hole.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? People don't believe the new person you are until they see it more.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's really the kind of like Tisha in a way. You're actually, truth be told, you actually may be further along in your progression than you may give yourself credit for. You just didn't ever thought it felt like this because people gave you a lifeline.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to feel depressed and you're going to feel sad. You may even feel regretful. You get what I'm saying? But the father, the senior, is just making sure, hey, I don't want you to take matter into your own hands because there's only a next step after depression.
Yeah.
There's only one more step after that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We ain't got to say it, but I think we know.
Right.
So the father just making sure, like, look, you think there's not more life after the age you are. And truth be told, if you literally change and get your life together, who you are right now would be a distant memory because that would be so far. You got so much life ahead of you. Uh-huh. But you don't think you're further along than what you are. You got a job. You get what I'm saying? Now, you didn't pay your mother back yet. But first of all, I think first thing first, he needs to talk to his mother, repair that relationship. Yeah. He can't be secluding himself because Nell don't come from that gentle parenting thing. Yeah. She don't come from that, if he ain't calling me, let me call him. She just gonna be like, look, man, you ain't talking to me. That just giving me more fire and more ammo to basically be like, you need to grow up. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So anything else you want to add to this long sermon? I ain't mean to preach to y'all, but I was just trying to give people the both sides of the coin of there is gentle parenting and there's other parenting that I think our viewers believe in. I ain't gonna speak for everybody that believe it. Like, no, man, you did this. This is what accountability look like. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to add to that?
I just want to say, I feel like he needs to get a job or a trade or something that he has to put time and effort into. Because it sounds like he's just kind of floating through life right now. Yeah. If you got somewhere to be at 5 a.m, you ain't going to be at the studio at 2, 3 a.m.
We hope.
I'm just like, it sounds like he needs a lot more structure in his life. Yeah. And a lot of the times it's a job. Now, if he, doesn't necessarily want to go to college to like learn something, learn a trade. Like do something within a year or two.
He ain't going to do that.
Okay.
Because my whole thing is, with what you're saying,
but I'm just like, learn how to do something and like create some structure for yourself. But you're right, it just seems like he doesn't want to do that.
But it's not even that. My whole thing is he was working with his brother Lance for his company. Yeah. Landscaping, whatever it was, right?
But I'm saying he needs to do something for himself.
Yeah, but I think at that age we don't really know who we are. We are at that age we are the perfect imitators. Okay. We look at people or look at people that we quote unquote look up to at that age, and we're like, I want to be like them. So we imitate. We don't really live and really be who we are or really know ourselves to where I'm a suburban kid. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Uh-huh. That has a daddy who basically, like, truth be, this just lets me know that Chris works for himself, the father. You don't work under him. Uh-huh. You don't work for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my whole thing is I agree with the whole get a job point, but I'm like, you're so in a beneficial position, you don't even have to go through the whole get a trade thing. Learn real estate.
Hello? Get your real estate license. But he ain't mature enough for it right now.
So that's basically what I'm saying. I'm like, if you actually start right now under your father, you can actually be further along than where he is by the time you get to his age. Yeah. Because you can learn the tricks and the trade and things like that. Look at us sounding 40 years old. We ain't even 35, y'all. but that's my whole point. My whole point is at that age that Chris is, junior, I remember even being not that age, but even younger, we are imitators. Because we don't know ourselves and we not really we don't know ourselves to be ourselves.
But I feel like that's the parental role, too. Is like you need to tell your kid, you need to learn how to do something to feed yourself. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, not necessarily saying they dropped the ball, but maybe, like you said, they went in and rescued way too many times.
Oh, trust me.
Where he doesn't feel like he needs to learn how to do something to feed himself.
Trust me. Trust me. You're right. We don't get here without some cracks in the foundation. Because, like you said, you can be a parent that grew up in the hood, that had a bad childhood, so you do everything in your power to make sure your children don't have that. Yeah. And the next thing you know, by you thinking you being a great parent, some will say you kind of calling them too much. Right. But really, it's just the child taking advantage. Yeah. Of basically the parent being like, I don't want my kids to have that same trauma. Yeah. Even something as simple as, hey, you heard back in a couple episodes ago about everybody getting these luxury cars and things like that. There's some entitlement. You may not show it like Alexis, but there's some entitlement that may have come from Nell and Chris' background and how they grew up. They probably like, we ain't have this. Yeah. So the ability to actually like give our children this is actually something that we want to do based on where we at. And children don't know that. Children just want to take advantage of whatever It's given to them.
But that's how you know he's entitled, because he said, just give me the dogs.
No. No. You didn't lose the dogs.
Like, it could be all so easy. Just give me the dogs.
But my whole thing is, you didn't lose the dogs because you was at the park and they ran away.
Right.
We had to... Nell sees it as we had to rescue the dogs.
Yeah.
Because you went to jail.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... you may have to do a 720 type of turn.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
That's a lot of turning.
But my whole thing is, if I feel like I put you in a position to succeed and to flourish, and then you go to jail...
Yeah.
I'm and then on top of that, with Nell, I'm speaking for her. Obviously, I am her advocate. I don't know why. Obviously, it's not like she has, quote unquote, one bad kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything is being reinforced of why she feels like she has to be hard. Look, I have to be hard on Chris. I have to teach him. I'm going to keep the dogs. You will give me the money. Alexis, she keep cussing at me and things like that. Like, it's just all these things that I feel like piling on that I think he just need to have a conversation with his mom. Actually talk to her. Don't talk to her the same way you talk to Chris now. Because I feel like Chris, the father, he will bear his heart. You will see his heart and things like that. With mothers and parents like that who is more stern, you have to say things like, what do I have to do to gain your trust?
Yeah.
Come
in humble.
She's not going to cry with you. Right. You get what I'm saying? You need to say, what do I have to do to gain your trust? Because I want to gain your trust.
Yeah. That's it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Look at us. Look at us.
No kids or nothing.
No kids or nothing. Just talking.
We got the answers.
We don't know nothing about nothing. Continue.
Yeah, we move on to Tiffany and Lou, who are at home. And Tiffany and him are just talking about some of what Tiffany's been going through.
Yeah.
She was really overwhelmed after having the baby, and she never imagined it would be this way.
Yeah.
She thought she snapped back into life, family, and work, but having Ace, everything is literally upside down.
Yeah.
Tiffany shares the conversation she had about the meetup with KeKe. It went well, and she said she saw a different side of KeKe, and she is going to respect her wishes. It's basically stop talking trash. And mentally, Tiffany's been dealing with a lot, and Lou was a little bit concerned about her going to meet up with KeKe just because she hasn't been the most stable at this point.
Talking about Tiffany or KeKe?
Tiffany hasn't been the most stable mentally because of everything she's been going through after having the baby.
Facts.
Yeah. And Lewis brought up postpartum depression before she got pregnant. And Lewis, he really was trying to go through all the list of the issues that could possibly happen with her. And he really was not for having a baby at the time because he was like, you got a lot going on. And Tiffany denied it all. I'm not going to have postpartum depression. Everything's going to be fine. To the point where she felt like it wasn't a real thing. But she is experiencing it now. And, you know, they talk about how people say mean things on the show and how they expect you to bring the drama. And it's just a lot. And Lewis says we have to ask ourselves, is being on this show really the best thing for us? So we move on into the confessional, and Tiffany ends up letting us know that they are going to take a break from the show. And she really appreciates Lou putting his family first and having her back. She needs to find herself again, and he tells her that he appreciates her honesty because she would hold everything in, act like everything's fine, but be dying inside. And he tells her, it's my job to protect you. You know, thanks for sharing and letting me be your protection.
Yeah.
So
now, I'm gonna give a couple answers on this one. All right. Answer number one: if they're out, does that mean the Fletchers in?
Well, they're already in, so.
No. They're not in. They don't have in the beginning of the show intro.
Okay.
They're not a main cast member yet, dude. So can we promote the Fletchers? You get what I'm saying? Get them their own little, you know, intro where they dancing and posing and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Give them their own intro. 2, a lot of this stuff outside the baby. Let me take the baby out the room. Tiffany, a lot of how you're viewed on this show is because of you. Matter of fact, all of it. Not even a lot of it, all of it. You're talking about how people feel like they have problems with you, and that could be a lot on basically your postpartum and things like that, and things you're going through. If you was nice to people when you actually go through stuff, people will be there for you.
Yeah.
And no one's there for you right now. KeKe ain't there for you. Even though I feel like you wouldn't want KeKe to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? You talk bad about everybody. You have comments about everybody. And guess what? The only one that came to the house to check up on you is Mel. Literally, the only one.
Yeah, Mel went and talked about what you sold her because you was talking so much trash.
Exactly.
When Mel came to check on you.
So my whole thing is, even when someone came to check up on you, you still running your mouth. You ain't that depressed. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to dismiss your postpartum. I'm not saying that. We saw if you need help, the crisis hotline. Carlos put it on the screen. We see you, Carlos. You're doing a great job, right? But my whole point is, you reap what you sow when it comes to support, how you treat people, how you talk about people. And truth be told, it doesn't help that, Lou says, I got to work because I got to support you. So when Lou is gone and things like that, if you would have been nicer to these people, you wouldn't even feel his absence that bad because they would have been a village for you.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you don't have your own village. I'm sure she got her own family. I hope she has her own family. But my whole thing is, guess what? You literally talk bad or said something bad about everybody on this show.
Yeah.
So
talk bad about people's kids.
So like they know you as the person who is shady. And if you're going to be shady and talk bad about everybody, you better be the strongest person because you ain't going to have no backing, you know? Now, to the other side, to the more compassionate side, I hope you get better. I really do.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose yourself, but sometimes, and maybe Blair can speak on it because I'm not a woman. So I feel like as a man, from the man perspective, I feel like you're kind of over dramatizing what we're going through. I feel like, we have a baby. Our life was going to change. Things was going to be hard. I told you about postpartum. You told me to be quiet. I try to prepare us for this. And now that we're in the storm, I can't be as emotional with you while we're in the storm because I knew the storm was coming.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I can't really meet you where you're crying. I can just basically say what I was going to say when I was preparing for the postpartum 6 months ago and say, I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
And now I have to take the extreme means of basically be like, I'm going to take us off the show because you didn't do a good job in preparing for this. And granted, it's something that you really can't prepare for, but just be aware of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What did you think of this scene from a woman's perspective and basically what you seen with Tiffany, Blair?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciated Lou's support for her.
Yeah.
That was really important because she needed it. And
yes.
like you said, she could be so tough that she acts like she doesn't need help. Mm-hmm. So it's good that she allowed him to be there for her. Mm-hmm. And I do agree. That's why I feel like a lot of people weren't really there to support her. Not just because she'd be talking mess, but because Lou told her all of what was going to come or what could possibly come, and she was just too hard-headed to listen. So it's hard to be empathetic when it's just like we all saw the writing on the wall, but for some reason you decided to close your eyes and turn the lights off.
And can I add something to it?
Yeah.
You can't be the know-it-all.
Yeah.
Because remember when they was basically like, they are the couple that's basically the best, and they was criticizing everybody else couple, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this.
Yeah.
That like that don't make people want to. And then when we get to the marriage counseling thing, to the therapist, she leaves.
Yeah, she working. She doing everything else but being present with her husband.
So people feel like, you know what, y'all got it. You're strong. And things like that. And now when you show a moment of weakness, you don't have that village or that support when it comes to friends. Friends is a big help. Yeah. You're going to need friends to back you up. Go ahead, continue, Blair. I ain't mean cut you off.
Yeah. But I do feel like, now that Tiffany is actually in it, she is feeling the feelings, the hormones, the depression, all this stuff. Yes, it is a lot and it's very heavy. Yeah. And I'm glad that she is being honest and real about it. Yeah. And I do feel like it's probably too much because she's over here talking about how, people expect you to bring the drama. Nobody really likes the drama that you bring.
No one likes her drama because her drama be kind of nasty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like when you're held to the fire about it. Like, you can't stand on your two toes.
Yeah.
Your two toes.
two feet, I think. 2 toes, okay.
10 toes about
10
it.
toes, okay.
Hopefully she ain't got 2 toes.
If she got 2 toes, she need to get off the show. Okay.
Yeah, you know, she can't stand 2 toes down because she knows she just be saying stuff to stay relevant on the show or to keep things interesting. Mm-hmm. But it's like you're being rude and mean and nasty about it. It's not light shade. It's not fun. So, yeah, take a break. Get yourself together. And definitely wish you all the best because a baby is a blessing. And you don't want to be feeling this way after this is something that you prayed and begged for and all this type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like that honestly probably is the worst feeling, to be like, I'm so happy for my son, but I feel awful, mm-hmm. you know? So hopefully she does get the help she needs, and without the spotlight, she can stop talking mess about her husband, let him work in peace, mm-hmm. and support the family. And, you know, and just go about your day to day. Because I do think the way that she talks is like poison to herself too. And I feel like it's making things worse by you having to say, well, Lou's not here and I don't feel supported and this and that. And it's just like you're making it worse because you understand the reality of the mm-hmm. situation, but you talking so negatively over your situation is making you feel it 1,000 times more and having to rehash and complain. So yeah, maybe if you have a time to stop talking mess and really speak on and think on the positive, mm-hmm. you can get out of that situation. Hopefully you do see a counselor and, you know, even meds if you need some, you know, a little additional support.
We are not going to diagnose it with drugs now.
I'm all for the meds.
Okay, thank you. But my thing is, do you think that they will return to the show?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm not, yeah, I don't think so. I think
they're done.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think they're done. And some would say that they didn't even find really their footing in the show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, I think what happened is we really had no problem with them on the show. Like everything that we feel towards them is based on what they did to themselves. Yeah. To us. You know
for us to see.
Yes. Like we really had no opinion about Tiffany until Tiffany started doing Tiffany stuff. Yeah. You know? So I hope she gets better. I hope she actually get the help she needs and things like that. Truth be told, she probably just needs a break. Because truth be told, it's probably y'all that got her feeling like she don't want to be on the show. Y'all comments, y'all commentary, and things like that. And she probably like, I can't take it because y'all mean to me. Y'all need to be nicer. Okay. Anything else on the show?
That's it.
I want to go back up to Tisha for a minute. I wanted to also give you the other side of it. It can be a pride thing too. Tisha, you can be prideful too. And that could be a problem. In the sense of she's feeling like everybody's talking about me. Everybody's against me. Da-da-da-da. Just too much. Humble yourself. It could be a pride thing. Because my thing is, who are you to not get criticized?
Everybody gets criticized.
Everybody is open to criticism. So you can't take it personally as if you can't get criticized because you had great intentions.
And also, it's not against you personally. It's about the mechanics of what you're doing. Nobody's saying you're stupid, you make bad decisions and all this type of stuff. Nobody's really coming at you for how you are, how you think. It's just like, improve it in this way. Like, try to get funding. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you lost me there.
I'm just saying, people are talking about the mechanics of the business and how that can improve. People are talking about saying like, oh, you're slow, like you're dumb for doing it this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, people aren't coming at you in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Like with me, I'm just strictly talking about her in the sense of it may just be your pride and you may just need to check that.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? Because if you think that you can't get criticized in your house, Marsau is coming home every night. And he can criticize the work you do as a housewife. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's criticism everywhere you go. You can't escape it. You really can't. Because guess what? You're on the show. People have been criticizing you since season 1. So you gotta get used to it. You gotta get some tougher skin, as Marsau been saying for over 7 seasons and things like that. How many seasons have the show been in? 6. 6 seasons. 6 seasons? It been 6?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. 6 seasons and things like that. So, look, man. Anything else on the show?
That's it.
Look, make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We will be back. Blessings.
Bye.